Anyone have doubts in the previous concepts? Let me know. Don't sit idle. Please give a response. Then only I can proceed with the another concept. Do you have any doubts up to now? Please raise the concept of which you are having doubt. I will clarify on the particular topic. Is my screen is visible to you? Syllabus, Python programming syllabus. Is it? Now, which screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. See the syllabus here. From Monday onwards, you are having bits, right?
Thursday,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thursday,
What?
Thursday, Thursday.
Wednesday.
Thursday, ma'am.
Wednesday, na? Okay. Okay, no problem. We will revise the concepts. Or if you are understood very well, if you have any doubts on the particular concept, please ask the question. Then I will continue with the topic. First, we will discuss what are the topics are there up to now. So see, coming to the first unit of our syllabus, that is Introduction to Python. In that, you need to discuss features of the Python and history and future of Python, how to work with Python. Working with Python, we have discussed it in two modes, right? First one is interactive mode and second one is script mode. Interactive mode is nothing but opening command prompt and running your applications of small applications. Means one line applications can be run in this interactive mode, or a small programs can be done by using interactive mode, right? That is what running our programs with command prompt. Next one is a script mode. Script mode is nothing but we are opening file and we are clicking on new file and we are writing some of our lines of code and we are running our program. That is script mode. Next, identifiers and keywords. What are those identifiers and keywords? If, else, and, or, these all comes under identifiers and keywords. Next, comments. How to give an single comment, how to use indentation, and how to use multi comments, multi-lining indentation. You all know, right? These things based upon the instructions what we are given, we have to give the indentation and multi-lining indentation. Next, coming to data types. What are the different data types are there? In Python, actually, when we are declaring a particular value, then automatically it will take data value. But we are having built-in data types, right? Strings, characters, floats, integers. These all comes under the data type. So we need to you has to, if any particular question is comes on particular data type, you need to write these. What are the data types are there? You need to write. Next, operators and expression. What are these operators and expressions? Arithmetic operations, string operators, string expressions, string methods. We have discussed many different operators and different expressions by using integers as well as strings, right? Those all comes under here, operators and expressions. Next, console input output formatting methods. Means we have discussed how to give different inputs by using the percentage symbols, flower brackets, double comments, single comments, like that we have discussed it, right? I have discussed these topics in your class only. So how to format a particular output and how to give different inputs that can be comes under this console input and output. Under that formatting, next built-in functions and library functions. Built-in functions means built-in string functions are there. Some, suppose if you want to calculate some average, like those all comes under built-in functions. Coming to integers, seal, floor, and different methods are there, max, min. So these all comes under built-in functions, and library functions are there. When we are deploying any particular module, then we can use those particular functions. Those all comes under built-in functions and library functions. That is all about your first module. Coming to the second module is nothing but only decision control statements are there. Here we have to discuss the different types of decision controls one by one. First, coming to different types of branching statements, that is selection or conditional. If single if statement, next if with else, next nested if, next nested if, else if ladder. These all comes under the if control statement. Next, coming to basic loop structures, that is while, do while, next for, nested loops, and coming to break and continue statements, pass statement, and else statements used with loops. And we have discussed these all control statements also, right? So how to use these things, and what is nested loops, what is the break statement, continue statement, what is pass statement, and how to use else statements with loops. All these concepts we have discussed. Next, coming to the third module, we are having container data types. So here we have discussed list, and what are the different methods are there to access a particular list elements, and list operations we have discussed, list methods we have discussed. Next, list comprehension also we have discussed. Next, coming to tuples. What are the tuples, and how to access elements in the tuples, and what are the tuple operations as well as tuple methods. Next, what is the difference between a list comprehension and tuple comprehension? Actually, tuple comprehension single is not possible, so we need to take a list comprehension. After that, we can convert our list comprehensions to tuples. That I have explained it 3 or 4 methods for list tuple comprehension. You can go with that one. Next, this is what conversion of list comprehension to tuple. This is one method. Next, we have discussed what are iterators and iterables. Next, zip function. These all about your first mid unit syllabus. Once check the syllabus. Everyone, once see the screen. If anyone having the trouble with any of the topics, please let me know. Then I will go with that particular topic. Is first unit is clear to everyone? First unit. Give the response. I need responses from you. Then only I can continue the class. Rename your names with your roll numbers. Everyone, rename your names with your roll numbers. Give the response, students. Is first unit is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, coming to second unit. Do you have any doubts in the second unit? Anyone who is having doubts, please raise the question. Ma, you need to practice these concepts with programming as well. Today you have lab in afternoon session, right? You have completed week 1. Now you need to complete week 2. Just we will mention the programs. Next, you need to write the program by your own. So like that, programs will be coming in your exam also. You need to write the programs. So that I am asking, everyone has able to write the program in your exam. Do you have any doubts? Please raise the question. I will explain the concept. But you need to write the programs in your exam. I don't know how many are listening the class and how you are preparing for your exams, how you are throwing. I don't know. That's why I'm asking again and again. Is everyone clear with second unit or anyone have doubts? Give reply.
No, ma'am.
What no, ma'am? Are you comfortable with the second unit or do you have any doubt? No doubts, huh?
Ma'am, sir, past statement చెప్పండి.
What, ma? Past statement.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, any topic? Others? Only past statement or any topics are there? Okay. See the past statement here. What is past statement? We have seen continuous statement as well as break statement, right? So when we are executing some of the lines of the code, when we are giving break, what happened? The control will come out from the particular loop and it will execute the last statement what you have given after coming out of the loop, right? So that is what break. Pass is nothing but it is performing no action and it serves as a placeholder in Python. What do you mean by placeholder? Placeholder is nothing but it will occupy some space and it does nothing. See, when you are registering, suppose everyone know about registering at a particular page, right? Suppose you want to register with a Facebook user. So what happened? When you are going to the particular login page, they are asking some credentials, right? What is those credentials? So for they will ask name. In that name, opposite to your name, what is there? One empty box will be there, right? That can be called a text box. In those text box, one message will be seen by you. Means enter your name or enter your email name. The password must be like this. These statements, these messages can be seen on the text boxes that is appearing behind your first name and some captions, right? So after entering your name, automatically enter your name, message will be disappeared. Have you remember this thing? Is it? Give response, ma.
Not remembered, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I will open. Wait. Okay, see, is my screen is visible to you? Facebook.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See here, what the message it is showing. When you want to log in, it is asking that email address or phone number, and below it is asking password, right? When you are entering email address here, automatically that message will be gone, right? Next, they are asking password. I have typed some password. So what happened? The message what you have seen up to now, that is password is disappeared, means it is just holding the space, means that is called a placeholder. It will occupy some space, but it does nothing. When you are entering some values, then only the particular login page will be opened. These password and see what the message is referring, email address or phone number, these can be called it as placeholders. They do nothing. So like that, coming to our Python pass statement, see here, coming to our Python pass statement, pass statement is acting as a placeholder. It does nothing action in our Python. Now are you understandable what is a pass statement?
Yes,
It
ma'am.
is just acting as a placeholder and it does nothing. So it can be used when a statement is required syntactically, but the program requires no action. See here, when we can use it, it can be used as syntactical purpose. Syntax purpose only we are using, but it does nothing. So like that, coming to this program, display only odd numbers from the list. If the number is even, then do nothing. So what is our program? I want to display numbers from the list. First, I need to create one list and I need to pass some elements into the particular list, and I need to check what are the odd numbers are there, what are the even numbers are there. So what are the odd numbers are there? Those odd numbers only must be printed. If even numbers are there, I don't want to print that one. Means I want to leave that one. So I have taken iterable, that is for. So for num in particular list I have created. So num is the variable I have taken in for loop in the particular list. So what happened? One by one value from the list is automatically assigned into num here. For the first time 20 will be coming to the num. So what is the next statement I have written? If num percentile 2 equal to 0. What is this condition? If the particular number what is coming to the number, that percentile 2 I have given, means if it is divisible by 2 and if it is equal to 0, then what action I need to perform? Pass, means what is the statement? Num percentile 2 is not equal to 0 means it is a even number. If the particular number is a even number, then pass is nothing but no action need to be performed. If it is not a even number, then we need to go to the else statement. What is the else statement? Print num comma end equal to, means when the particular number is a odd number, then that number must be printed, and the formatting of output I have given end equal to particular space, means space must be given to each of the every number. So this is what when this even number is an even number, I don't want to change anything. If it is an odd number, then only I need to print. Observe everyone. Now is it understandable to everyone? Past statement.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I will move to the iterators. Repeat a particular loop. At that time we are using iterators. For what are the iterators are there? We are using iterators. For while we are using, right? So what happened in for and while? When a particular value is coming to the particular variable in for loop, and the particular condition will be checked. If the particular condition is satisfied, then particular statements will be executed. After executing the particular statements, again it is going to the loop and it is checking that when another value is taken, and it is checking the condition based upon the value, means Each time value is incremented or changing based upon the condition what you have given, and the steps what you have given are looping around it, right? That is what the iterator concept, right? Means automatically it is taking next values for the particular condition. That is what the iterator. So see, lists, tuples, dictionaries, sets, these all can be called it as iterable objects. These are iterable objects. When you have taken a particular iterable objects, then automatically one by one value is iterating over it. So that is what the iterable object. So the iterator object is initialized using the iter method. It uses the next method for iteration. See, when we want to access a particular value, it uses iter method. And when you want to go to the next value, then it will use next method for the iteration. These are inbuilt methods for the particular iterable objects. So no need to call these objects explicitly when you are using these iterable objects. Understood? So see, what is this iterable method? This is a method that can be called for the initialization of an iterator, and it returns the particular iterator object. First time it is initializing the iterator and it is returning the particular value of the particular iterator object. Next method, what is next method? It will return the next value for the iterable. When we use a for loop to traverse an iterable object, internally it uses the iter method to get an iterator object, which further uses next method to iterate over it. See, you need to understand one thing here. We are having iterator as well as iterable objects. Iterable objects are lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. See, so when you are using these iterable objects with a combination of for or while loop, then automatically what happens internally, it will call iter method to access the particular object it is having, and it further calls next method to iterate over it, and it raises the stop iteration method when the particular values are ended. So when you are using these iterable objects, the combination of for means traversing loops for or while, then automatically it will call these three methods: iter method, next method, and stop iteration methods. You are not calling, you just giving the syntax that for variable in list, right? I will show the example. See here, iterating over a list. Print list iteration, I have taken L equal to Institute of Aeronautical. For I in L, print I. What happened here? First institute value is coming to L, next of, next aeronautical, and each value is coming, and we are executing this statement. The first time institute value is initialized after completion of this institution value into L. Next value is called, means next, what is the next value? Next is the limit of, it is called. After of, next is called, that is aeronautical. After aeronautical, it is suspended, means we are not calling initialization method of iterator and next method and suspended method. Automatically it is calling, means for loop internally is calling these methods, and we are accessing one by one values here. That is what iterables. So see, we are having iterator as well as iterables. So when we are using these iterables, automatically these methods will be called, and it is accessing one by one value. After completion of all the methods, stop iteration signal is raised, and it will end the particular iteration. That is what iterable objects. Now everyone clear with what is iterable objects? Iterable objects are nothing but list, tuples, and dictionaries. These automatically call these iter, next, and stop iteration methods. Next, coming to iterator method. In this iterator method, we are not we are calling explicitly these methods. Iterable, when we are using iterable objects, we no need to use these methods explicitly. They only call. But when you are using iterators, at that time you need to use these methods explicitly. So see one of the example, inbuilt iterator. Here also I am not calling any, see here is an example of Python inbuilt iterator. Suppose I have taken iterable value, that is civil. Next iterable object I am taking. So while true means particular value is existing, it will coming to try. Next iterate by calling next. Here I am calling next method. Item equal to next of iterable objects, print item. So at the first time I am initializing these iterable object with iterable object equal to iter of iterable value. By using these statements, I am initializing my iterator, and by using next of iterable objects, I am incrementing my value to the next one, and I am printing. After printing all the values, I am calling stop iteration methods, and I am breaking my loop. This is what iterator example. Here we are calling the methods of iterator, next, and stop iteration manually, right? When we are using iterable values and we are using these iterable values without any loops, means without any for loop or while loop, at that time we need to call these values one by one. First by initializing your iterable object, next by incrementing, next by stopping your iteration. This is what iterator. So these see here, these are iterating over a list. These are different iterables in Python. Iterables. Iterables in Python. How to go move with one by one. This one list we have seen. Tuple also same example. I have taken tuple and I need to pass one by one value. I want to print. That is what iterables, right? So like that we can take sets, dictionaries and strings, arrays, everything, and we can take one by one value by using these iterables. Next, coming to main difference between these iterators and iterables. Iterator in Python is an object that contains a countable number of values, and it is used to iterate over iterable objects like lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. So see what is an iterator? Iterator is nothing but an object. So it have different countable number of values what you have taken. It will help you to move one by one values into these iterable objects. So the iterator object is initialized using iter method, that is first method. Next method is used for the iteration. So coming to iterable here, iterable is an Python object capable of returning its members one at a time, permitting it to be iterated over in a for loop. See the difference between iterable and iterator here. Iterator is Python object as well as iterable is also Python object. But here in iterator, we are calling iterator methods to initialize and to increment the value. But here in iterables, it is capable of returning values one by one, and it is permitting to iterate over a for loop. So here we are no need to call these iter method as well as next method. That is what the main difference between iterator and iterable. In iterator, we need to call iter and next methods, but in iterable, no need to call those methods when we are using for loop. So see, next iterable is an object which one can iterate over it. It generates an iterator when passed to iter method. So iterable, when we are using with for loop, then it has a capability of calling iter method and next method, and iterator have next method which returns the next item of the object. Every iterator is also an iterable. You need to observe here, every iterator is an iterable because an iterator is a capability of calling iterator methods, but not every iterable is an iterator, because without explicitly calling iterator methods, we can access the values of iterable, but we can't with iterator. We need to call the methods of the iterator. Then only we are able to act iterator like iterable. So we can tell that every iterator is also an iterable, but iterable is not an iterator. This is what the difference between iterator and iterable. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts, ma'am? Any concept is doubt? Is any concept is doubt? Or everyone is perfected with the 2.5 units screen? Okay. See, basic loop structures or iterative statements. See here, iterative statements. These are not iterators. Iterative statements are nothing but iterables. So see, what are the basic loop structures are there? Loops are used to repeat a set of statements or a particular single statements a certain number of times. Python providing two types of looping constructs, basically for loop as well as while loop. So the Python for loop also works as an iterator to iterate over items in lists, dictionaries, or characters in strings. Now only we have discussed what is an iterator, right? So when we are using for loop, it will act as an iterator. Means you are no need to call iterate method, next method, and stop iterate method when you are using for loops. Automatically, these methods will be called by for loop itself because it is acting as an iterator. Now it is clear. Now is it clear, everyone? What is a for an iterator? Next, see which items we need to iterate: lists, dictionaries, or sets, characters in strings or arrays. So we can, when you are using these for loops, we can iterate over these values because it is acting as an iterator. So without explicitly calling this iter method, next method, one by one value can be accessed by using for loops here. So what are these two types of loops are there? First one is for loop, second one is while loop. So we will see what is a for loop. So see what is this for loop? It can be used to iterate over a list, string, dictionary, or a particular range of numbers or strings or characters, arrays like that. We can, when we want to iterate over a particular item, particular object, at that time we can use the for loop. First, everyone see the syntax of how to iterate over this by using for loop. Syntax: for variable in range, in braces, starting number, ending number plus 1. Next, step size. Next, below we have given some of the statements. So we need to execute these statements, but the condition here is what is the starting number, from where to start my loop, and from when at what number I need to stop my execution. What is the steps? Steps is nothing but I need to take 1 increment, 2 increment, 3 increment, like that, or -1, -2, like that. The size can be mentioned here. For variable is nothing but these value you have given, right, for variable in range. So range values can be come one by one into variable, and you can access the value of the particular object into the variable, or you can write the another statement like that for element in sequence statements. You can use above syntax or you can use directly below syntax. The purpose of these two statements is same, but here in the first one you have mentioned starting, ending, and step size. When you didn't mention those things in the below, automatically it will take starting number as what is the value you have given in the particular object, and it will take ending number as what are the how many elements are there it will take, and step size it will take automatically 1. You can use for loop syntax either the first one or second one, both are same. So we can see the example here. I have taken for loop example with the range. So for I is a variable I have taken. In range, I am mentioning start, stop, step. Start is nothing but 1. Stop I have taken as 11. Stop plus 1 means I need to execute 10 values. So I need to give 1 extra value. So stop plus 1 is nothing but 11. So it will take up to 10 iterations, 10 values. Step size here is 1. So I need to print the values from starting 1 to 10, and each value must be incremented with 1. So print of I when I have taken. So all the values of the I, what is the value of I? The first time 1 will be taken, second time 2, third time 3. Means each time value is incremented and the incremented value is assigned to I here, and every time the value is going to be printed. This is for the first one. Second one is also same, but here we have given at the print statement print I, after that end equal to this space, means it will take 1 by 1 values in just one row. This is the difference between for loop with two examples. Now we can see the below another example. See, for I in range start comma stop I have given. I didn't give an increment value, then also it will take one increment value only. See in another example, for I in range of 11 I have given, means I didn't given starting value, just I have given ending value, and I didn't mention increment value. So see here, when you didn't pass it any values at where to start, then automatically it will take from 0. If you mention starting value, then it will start from the value what you have given. But when you didn't pass it any value, then it will take the value from 0. That is what the difference. Next, for loop works as an iterator. So see how it will take works as an iterator when we are taking example as a list. So list I have taken some of the values 10, 20, true, 5 plus 7, J, Rama, and some float value I have taken. For I in list, what happened? Each value from the list will be assigned 1 by 1 into I, and it is printed. Print I comma end equal to some we have given space, so each value is printed in the same line by taking spaces between the different values. So if so it will act as an iterator, means you are not calling after completion, you are not initializing the iterator here. Automatically for loop is iterating iterator here, and it will calling next method to take the 20 value 30 22 like that, and it is calling stop iteration method when it is completed over the list. You are not calling any iterator methods here because for loop acts as an iterator. So like this, each value is going and it will be printed the values like this. So this is what for loop with another example. Like the tuples, like the iterators, like the dictionaries, loops, it will go. Next we will go with the while loop. While this is used whenever a set of statements should be repeated based on a condition, the control comes out of the loop when the condition is false. See here, it will check, it will also iterate over some set of statements. But here when the condition becomes false, it will automatically come out from the loop. In while loop, we must explicitly increment or decrement the loop variable, if any, whereas in for, the range function would automatically increment the loop variable. So what is the difference between for and while here? In for, when we are iterating over 1 by 1 value, we no need to give increment value here. In for, automatically it will take step value in for loop. But when we are discussing with while loop, we need to give increment or decrement value in loop variable. We will see the example here. Program to print the values from 1 to 10. So see here, I have given x equal to 11 while x less than 11. So up to that I will check. You have given print x end equal to particular space I have given, and you have mentioned here increment value. What is the increment value I have given? X plus equal to 1 is nothing but x equal to x plus 1. So when coming to the for loop, we no need to mention this increment value, automatically it will take. But coming to the while loop, we need to mention these increment or decrement value. This is what this example. Next, coming to while loop iterating over a list. See, while list here iterating over a list. When it list is a iterating values. So when you are using iterating values, then we no need to mention, means no need to call these increment value, starting value, ending value. Automatically it will take starting value, ending value, and step value. When we are taking iterable objects, what are the iterable objects? Lists, sets, dictionaries, strings, characters, arrays. So when you are taking iterable values, then automatically it will iterate over the values and it will take next values, right? So see, while list, print list.pop, comma, end. What it happened? See,
So mostly by Monday, we are going to finish this module, and as I'm telling you, Tuesday and Wednesday, we are going to discuss question pattern. Okay, students? So shall we end our session here?
okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So you people can leave.